Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Regarding the effects of holy company, Sri Ramakrishna is explaining what all you get through a holy company. When Sri Ramakrishna says that what you get is the power of discrimination, to discriminate between the real and the unreal. So whenever your mind deviates from the real and start moving towards the unreal, apply this discrimination. It will immediately bring you back. Where are you running? Why are you running behind this world? You have seen, and what all sukha dukkha you have to experience according to your karma, whether you want or not, will come to you. You may seek so much of joy, bliss and freedom, but if you have not earned and kept it, you will not get, in spite of all efforts, you will not get sukha. If you have not earned and kept it, if your karmas do not give you sukha, you have done such karmas that you are not going to get sukha, then you cannot get sukha by any means. Similarly, if you are supposed to get the sukha, even if you don't do any efforts, if you don't put any efforts also, that sukha is bound to come to you. Similarly, dukkha. Dukkha cannot come to you unless you have earned and kept that dukkha. And you have to exhaust it by working it out in your life. It will be imposed by nature upon you. So you don't want dukkha, it will come to you. You want sukha, if you have earned only, it will come to you. Dukkha you don't want. If you have not done any cause of dukkha, any acts that brings dukkha, if you have not done, if your karmas are such that you cannot get a dukkha, then it will not come to you. But if you have done some karma that dukkha must come to you, whatever way you try to avoid, it will come to you. Suppose one way you avoid, it will come in some other way. So you cannot avoid. And what you have to get, only that much you will get. What you can do is change your future. Only thing that you can do is to change. You need not put efforts to remove the dukkha. You need not put efforts to attain the sukha. Only efforts are needed to transcend the nature and go beyond. We have to cross over our internal nature, kama, krodha and all that, external nature, infliction of pressure and pain upon us. Sukha dukkha is imposed upon us. Birth and death, old age, disease, all these are imposed. We are in the prison house of nature. To go beyond this nature, transcend this nature and go, is there you have to put all the efforts there. We put efforts here to avoid dukkha and get sukha. It doesn't work. It is like pounding husk. If you pounding paddy, you will get rice. If you pound the husk, you will not get anything. You will get tired, that's all. Shadow fighting. Go on fighting till night. From morning till night, go on fighting with your own shadow. The shadow will never get tired, but you will get tired. World is like that. Fighting with the world is like fighting with your own shadow. You will get tired. This world will never get tired. So that is what we see. So all your efforts must only be concentrated upon how to transit the nature and go beyond. How shall I realize God? How shall I escape from this bondage and suffering? And how can I enter the life eternal? So whenever it goes out your mind, apply discrimination and bring it back. He gives the example of the moment an elephant stretches out its trunk to eat plantain tree in the neighbor's garden, it gets a blow from the iron goad of the driver, mouth. A neighborer, one of the persons sitting in the group. Why does man have sinful tendencies? Why does man have sinful tendencies? Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna here doesn't give the reason. He applies to the will of God. Master, in God's creation, there are all sorts of things. He has created bad men as well as good men. It is He who gives good tendencies, and it is He again who gives the evil tendencies. Does God give some evil tendencies to some person and good tendencies to somebody? Yes, according to His involvement. Giver is God, that is the ultimate truth, but doer is you. He doesn't speak about the doer, He speaks about the giver. God gives some good tendencies to someone, bad tendencies to someone, because He is involved in that way. In bad activities He is involved, and He is gaining that momentum. It is just like telling, earth will give the momentum to the vehicle. Why does the running vehicle along the down slope, downward gradient cycle, you apply both brakes, it will be dragging you down. Who gives that momentum to the cycle without pedaling it? You are in the downward slope. Leave the brake, it starts running down. Who gives the momentum? It is, we say, earth. How does earth give the momentum? Through gravity. Why? Because you have made your vehicle stand that way. So, what here Sri Ramakrishna is telling, God is same thing Krishna tells in Uddhava Gita. See, last day of his life, Krishna's arrow has hit his leg and he has to leave the body. One by one, to whom he has to talk to, he calls. He calls Uddhava also. He tells to Uddhava, that is the last Uddhava Gita. In that, Krishna tells him, now he gives lot of advices and finally tells, you go to Badrinath now and spend your rest of the life there in thought of me. Sukha Dukkha will come to you. Sukha Dukkha will come to you according to your karma. Don't be affected by them. Don't be affected by them. Sukha comes also, don't get elated. Dukkha comes also, you don't get depressed. Treat it samana, sukha dukkha samana. Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo. Equate them. Sukha is also equate, dukkha is also, because they are both are mind's reactions. Mind is grasping one as sukha and one as dukkha. And we have created liking for sukha and dislike for the dukkha. So inside we have kept a software which refuses, it says no. But if you have developed a software which accepts both, looks upon both equally, then you would not have pushed, I don't want dukkha, I want sukha, you would not have told any time. Because whether sukha comes or dukkha comes, it is same. Where do we see sukha dukkha samana? Absolutely. After getting up from dream. Dream, suppose a dog bites you in the dream, how you will be shouting and weeping in the dream, running about here, there. 4 friends will come and they carry you to the hospital, give you injections, this, that and all. And pay with you are not able to walk. They will bring you back and all this happens. And see the pain, amount of pain that you are experiencing. When you wake up, there is no pain. There is neither dog nor you. There was no pain at all. Now suppose next day you get only masala dosa and laddu and you are so happy. Sukha, then they will make you sleep on the suppattige, on fine sofa and start fanning you. And you get lot of joy and enjoyment. And then when you wake up, it is not there. In mind alone was appearing there as dukkha. Next day it is appearing as sukha. It is mind only. Sukha, dukkha in dream, just like that. Same here also it applies. If you wake up from this dream of the world, you will see that, why did I refuse dukkha? Why did I seek sukha at all? Both were equal. Both were God manifesting as sukha, dukkha. Just like in dream, mind is manifesting as sukha and dukkha. Here God is manifesting as sukha and dukkha. It is God. That is why Krishna says, sukha dukkha will come to you, equate them, accept them with same sightedness, same mental state, without rejection, without elation. Accept it because it is sukha and dukkha. Yet accept it because it is giver is me. It is coming from me. Sukha also I am going to give according to your karma. Dukkha also I am going to give. It is according to your karma. But giver is me. I am going to give. When something comes from me to you, whether it is sukha or dukkha, it is my prasada. When you understand that sukha dukkha, God is the sukha dukkha giver, you have nothing to say. Then you will gladly accept because it is prasad. You will not reject it nor embrace it. Sukha, it is God's prasad. When you see in this world, you need not change anything. Your life also, you need not. What you are doing from long time, same food, same thing, same place, live as you are, going on doing, but change your attitude. We need not change our life. We have to change the attitude everywhere. You must be able to see the divine. We are all see world. You must be able. Two are there. Two are interwoven, real and unreal. It is real that is appearing as unreal. And jnanis see only reality everywhere. Ajnanis see darkness everywhere. Divine everywhere. They see the world. Jnani see God everywhere. And Ajnani see the world. They don't see the God at all. Because Ajnani is body seeing. Jnani is Atman seeing. If I see the world, I am body. If I see God, I am enlightened person. This is the difference between enlightenment and normal ignorant people like us. We see, we are bodies and this is world. When after enlightenment, you will see a new world. Now we have to change our attitude again and again, remind, oh, this is not that, this is not that. How many times we tell our mind, oh, morning sunrise is up, sunset is coming, it is evening. But sun is not at all moving. It is earth moving. Earth moving. So earth is moving around the sun and moving on its axis. So when it is moving, it is making. But what we see is sun moving only. Each time you see the sun moving, you have to remind your mind. You see sun is moving, but really is earth is moving. Earth is moving. And finally, mind comes to accept the reality. Without telling, without identifying, it will say earth is moving around the sun. It is not sun moving around the earth. How to impress that mind? Similarly, we must, how we accept science, same way we have to accept the, we don't see, we have never gone beyond the solar system to see earth moving around the sun. Nobody has gone, even scientist who says also has not gone and seen. Rishi Munis at least have seen by transcending the nature and staying beyond. Scientists never have seen. But there is no refusal because nobody has seen. I don't accept it, is not told. Everyone accepts it. Nobody has checked. In spiritual world, scriptures, every saint has seen and every saint certifies, yes, I have seen God, I have seen God. And with that authority, we have to convince ourselves. How we accept science, in the same way, we have to accept the scriptures also. This is faith. Once you get faith, you will safely reach. All our scientific deductions, whatever we deduce, are acceptance of the principles of science. We accept it, apply it, utilize it. So Sri Ramakrishna says, to some he has given good tendencies, some he has given bad tendencies. Accept God, accept the world as it is. See what is to be done. Master, in God's creation, all sorts of things are there. He has created bad men as well as good men. Just like there is darkness, there is light also. Because one reality, when one becomes two, it becomes negative and positive always. So wherever you see duality, one is negative, one is positive. Again they merge in each other and become one with the Absolute. The multiplicity you are seeing here, the duality you are seeing here is because of it is waiting for going back to the cause. They all will merge back into the reality. It is he who gives good tendencies and it is he who gives evil tendencies. Because he has made the law, he has designed the world, he has designed, and it is he who has made all these laws. If you move with a particular thing, you will get that particular momentum. Go on doing good to the people. You will go on doing, you will be. You don't do, then you will not be doing at all. There is no pravritti to do, continue it. Whatever, inertia, what we call in science. Inertia is tendency to keep moving unless an external force obstructs it and brings it to, changes its speed, reduces or increases. Similarly, an object is there at rest, it will remain at rest unless moved by some other external force. This is inertia. Same thing applies to us also in our life. We move with certain things and it becomes our samskara. Good people with good people we move, we will acquire that tendency. Bad people we move, you will get bad tendencies. You acquire those tendencies. Neighbor is asking, in that case, we are not responsible for our sinful actions, are we? If God has given good tendencies and bad tendencies, then we are not responsible for good and bad actions, our actions. Suppose we do something bad because of the bad tendencies, He has given and I have done. And He and you have to suffer together. We are not responsible for our actions. You see how the opponent is speaking. In that case, we are not responsible for our sinful actions. Sin begets it, Sri Ramakrishna is telling. Sin begets its own result. This is God's law. Tendencies are given by God, action is done by you. Because of these tendencies, action is done by you. Vehicle has acquired momentum because of the accelerator. Petrol is responsible. And if it goes and falls in a ditch, now driver is responsible or petrol is responsible? So we can hang petrol for having done a mistake instead of the driver. So like that, God is responsible. When we say, in that case, we are, Sri Ramakrishna says, sin begets its own result. Virtue also, anything, any action brings its own results. This is the God's law. Won't you burn your tongue if you chew chili? If you chew chili? In youth, Mathur led a rather fast life, so he suffered from various diseases before his death. So he gives the example of Mathurnath, who took care of him, and lot of things he did in a great participant in the Leela of God. Regarding him, he is telling that Mathurnath, in young days, did not care for. He was a landlord, very powerful, and anything and he can do. He had huge retinue of people, that is well trained fighters also in case of need. So like that person, he can undo anything. He had the power and authority also. So when money, wealth, power, status, physical strength, all these combine, we don't know how the ego dances in this world. But as the old age comes, all the glory slowly starts fading away. The great wrestlers we have seen from our childhood days, when they are aged, they cannot stand up. They are great wrestlers. 4 people have to hold and lift. At least thin people, they themselves somehow stand. These wrestlers, 120 kilos, they cannot lift their own weight last. Others also cannot lift. That is when all ego, there you have to see how they repent for the life past. Oh, why did I do all that? With the same strength, with the same power, I could have done so much good to this world. I could have saved so many lives. I could have given my all energies I could have spent for. I went on doing exercise beyond limits to become a good wrestler. I got name, fame, everything, but nothing comes to my help now. Wealth is there, name and fame is there, greatest wrestler, when he is in deathbed, none of the certificates or people appreciation, power, authority, nothing will work there. He has to face it alone, fighting. So this is discrimination. Sin begets its own result. It is God's law. Won't you burn your tongue if you chew chili? In his youth, Mathurnath led rather fast life, so he suffered from various diseases before his death. So, one thing he is warning is tendencies may be there in you to do bad things, but there is intelligence also God has given to overcome that and go beyond. He did not give you only tendencies like giving in a flowing water. Somewhere it will fall, somewhere it will flow and go. No, He has given an intelligence also to you. You have to develop from this intelligence viveka. Unless you develop, vichara must lead you to viveka. Chintan, constant, agitation, cogitation. Take anything, see anything, analyze it, cogitate in your mind, and then come to the nirnaya, final decision. Oh, this is this, this is this, this is this. Use your brain now, what God has given. You have bad tendencies. You have the way to come out also, because you have the intelligence to transcend the nature and go beyond. You have to transcend your nature. You can't say it is natural. The main thing is, many people come and tell, Swamiji, enjoyment is natural tendency. Yes, it is. Why should you call it sin? Suppose we do some enjoyments which is illegitimate or anything like that. I steal somebody's cake and eat, do something. So, why should you call it sin? To take away thing, any animal, even monkey will come and take and go. Do you call it sin? It is natural. Yes, it is natural. The moment you see, go put your hand and eat. It is natural. But you have to transcend the nature. The purpose of human life is to transcend the nature, not to yield to your nature. The transcendence, going beyond. This is what Sri Ramakrishna is telling here. Be careful about karma. Don't think God is responsible and go on doing. No, God is not responsible. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.